spectacular defense, leading Tampa Bay to its 7th straight win and inching within 1 game of the AL East lead. Tonight, Matt No-Hit Garza takes to the hill in Game 2 of this pivotal 3-game set versus A-Rod and the Yankees. Catch all the action on Sun Sports. It's another Saturday night at Tropicana Field, and from what we've seen on the homestand so far, there will be plenty of action. Game 2 of the 3-game series tonight as the Tampa Bay Rays play host to the New York Yankees. The 2 best teams in baseball square off again tonight, and on the heels of last night's victory, things have tightened up a bit. The Rays 1 full game back of New York in the daunted American League East. Hi again, everyone. With Kevin Kennedy, I'm Dwayne Stats. Todd Callis will join us throughout the evening. It is great to have you with us. Well, a 3-2 victory for the Rays last night, Kevin. The Rays have won all 5 games on the homestand. They've won 7 in a row. And the young man from Armwood High School over in Sefner has had a direct hand in 3 of those 5 victories for the Rays. We're talking about Matt Joyce.
Right, the core of the lineup has really come together now, from Crawford to Liva Longoria, Pena in the 4th spot, and it's Matt Joyce hit behind Carlos Pena that's really done the job on this homestand. 4 for 16, but more than that, the 2 home runs, 9 runs driven in, the .688 slugging percentage. 1 was a grand slam in the no-hitter by Matt Garza. Another one was a double that won the game, a go-ahead run. And then, of course, last night, the 3-run home run was also a game winner. So 3 big hits, especially all game winners. And the Rays, of course, have undefeated on this homestand.
Baseball and Rays history made here Monday night when Matt Garza took the mound against the Detroit Tigers. And the one thing he wanted to do before making this start against the Yankees tonight is get all of the no-hit stuff out of the way by Wednesday.
Yeah, he was doing a lot of appearances, there's no question about that, but he's got to go back out to tonight, and if he wins this game tonight and the Rays win, of course they're tied for first place. But his last start, obviously electric. He just pounded the zone. He had 120 pitches in his no-hitter. He had 1 base runner, and then that was limited on double play. That was the closest being to hit right there, that line drive that Ben Zobrist made a great catch on. There were a few good defensive plays, but you and I both talked about this at length many times now since the no-hitter, how much he was under control with his emotions and in complete command. He acted like he'd been there before, and hopefully he can repeat a similar performance tonight.
And the pitching matchup, Matt Garza looks for his 12th win of the year in at 11-5. Javier Vasquez, the right-hander for New York, with 9 wins and 7 losses. His earned run average coming in is a little over 4.5. Well, the trading deadline has come and gone. Both these clubs are active to varying degrees, and when we return, we'll have more on that.
Of July is upon us as we welcome you back to the middle game of a 3-game series between the Yankees and the Tampa Bay Rays. Rays 1 game behind New York as we start play tonight. With the final day of July also comes the end of the trade deadline without having to have players pass through waivers. So today, the trade deadline happened. It came and went, and the Rays did make 1 deal late last night and early this morning, and that was Chad Qualls, acquired from the Arizona Diamondbacks. And that was necessitated when Grant Balfour had to go on the 15-day disabled list. And Balfour will be gone for somewhere in the range of 4 to 6 weeks. Qualls over from Arizona. He has struggled this year, but over his career, he's done a nice job coming out of the Astros and Diamondbacks bullpen. We caught up with the Rays manager Joe Madden in our Geico quote of the game and asked him what the final hours leading up to the trade deadline were like.
Now it happened to be up.
Rays baseball tonight brought to you by Toyota. Moving forward by Amscott, the Money Superstore, and by Checkers, Little Place, Big Taste. Welcome to Tropicana Field, the middle game of the 3-game series as the Rays and the Yankees meet for the 10th time this year. The Rays have won 5 of the first 9 games played. Here is the starting lineup for the New York team. Derek Jeter leads off, followed by the new addition for New York. And at the number 2 spot in the DH, Lance Berkman. Mark Teixeira hits third. Alex Rodriguez in the cleanup spot. Robinson Cano having a great year in second. Nick Swisher down to 6th in the order. Curtis Granderson is in center. Francisco Cervelli will do the catching, and Brett Gardner in left field hits 9th.
Matt Garza coming off his no-hitter last Monday night against the Detroit Tigers. Overall in 20 starts, he's got 2 complete games, 11-5 record, a 4.06 earned run average, 128 2/3 innings pitched, and overall a 245 batting average against. Defensively for the Rays tonight, it's Carl Crawford back out there in left field and B.J. Upton in center. Matt Joyce in right field. Around the infield left to right, Evan Longoria, Jason Bartlett, Sean Rodriguez at second, Carlos Pena, and Kelly Shafik behind the plate.
Here there's Lance Berkman. Spent his entire career with the Houston Astros, coming out of Rice University, and has just today joined the New York Yankees. Yankees made 2 other moves as well, acquiring outfielder Austin Kearns from the Cleveland Indians, and Kerry Wood coming over from the Cleveland bullpen. There's Kearns in uniform and on the bench tonight for New York. Derek Jeter prepares to lead this one off. Jeter starting the night at 274, and Matt Garza, coming off the no-hitter, is tonight after his 12th victory of the year. Garza 6-2 here at Tropicana Field so far this season. Jeter in there, and here is the first pitch of tonight's game, hit on the ground towards center. Rodriguez to his right, and the throw to first in time, and Jeter is out of there. 1 pitch, 1 out.
Yeah, that's not uncommon for Derek. He does like to swing at the first pitch because sometimes he feels it's the best fastball he may get to hit. Matt Garza will take a 1 pitch out.
And here's Lance Berkman. He was hitting .245 over in the National League with Houston. 13 homers and 49 runs batted in. And he's been a hitter with power who will see a lot of pitches.
Yes, he will. No question about that. He likes to work the count. And the Yankees like that.
First pitch, and he takes a fastball for a strike. His numbers this year have been off his career totals. He's close to a lifetime 300 hitter, as you can see right there, 296. That 245 average, but the last month or so he's been swinging the bat better. Fastball thrown by him, 0-2.
Oh, that was right by him is right. Lance couldn't catch up with that one at all. That was by him before he swung the bat. Getting the kinks out.
And the 0-2. He pops it up, a foul ball back. That's going to be out of play. Another fastball from Garza. He's hit .274 over the last month, and 6 of his 13 home runs have come during that stretch. And he takes a pitch very close right there. 1-2.
Well, that's a good call by Kelly Shafik. You see him setting up high, and that's exactly where Matt Garza threw it. He hit his spot, and Berkman didn't bite on it.
One out, bases empty. And the 1-2 to Berkman. Fastball high. 2-2. 21st start for Garza. It's pretty typical of Berkman. This will be the 6th pitch of this at bat. That's about average for him.
Yeah, exactly.
And he hits a fly ball into short right field. Joyce is there and he makes the catch. Garza stayed with a fastball. 2 up and 2 down.
Well, Lance Berkman got 5 fastballs in, took a couple. That last one jammed him. Swung through another one.
Now it's Mark Teixeira. Teixeira at 258 on the year. And he takes a strike. This one drops low. He threw a curveball in there, and that's a pretty good pitch.
Well, that's a strike. That fooled everybody. Scott Berry missed it. This is a good pitch. Right at the bottom of the zone. That's an excellent curveball. You can't throw it any better than that. I think it fooled everybody.
And a ground ball headed toward the middle. Scooped by Bartlett. Throw to first takes care of Teixeira. And it's a 1-2-3 first. We head into the Rays half of the inning, and we have no score. Tonight's Rays telecast on Sun Sports is presented in beautiful HD by H.H. Gregg. A 1-2-3 first for Garza over New York to open this game, and the Rays line up tonight. In the bottom of the first features John Jaso, the DH, Carl Crawford, and then Evan Longoria. Pena, Joyce, and Sean Rodriguez down the middle. Upton has good career numbers against tonight's starting pitcher. He's batting 7th ahead of Kelly Shoppach and Jason Bartlett.
Javier Vasquez on the mound for the Yankees has pitched much better as late. Coming off a nice outing in Cleveland, 7 strong innings. Overall, 18 starts, a 4.5+ earned run average, and a 234 batting average against.
And John Jaso about to step in against him. Jaso DHing. The pitch is high. 1 ball, no strikes. Now the Rays 26 games over 500. They're at 64 and 38. Jaso takes a strike from Vasquez, 34-year-old right-hander. He's 5-5 lifetime against the Rays and 3-3 in 8 starts here at the Trop. There's a high fly ball down the right field line. It's going to be foul and out of play. That advances the count to 1-2.
Now the catcher Francisco Cervelli sat right up under Jaso's hands, and I think he felt them. You can feel that as a hitter when you move early as a catcher, that you're coming in hard. He turned on it.
A foul back the other way. Off speed.
Got a pretty good curveball, Vasquez. Coming back inside.
And a shot into right. Swisher back. That ball is going to be over his head. Off the bottom of the wall. He has a little trouble corralling it. And Jaso's on his way to second. Jaso hit that ball right over the head of the right fielder, Swisher. Hit the bottom of the wall out there, and he had trouble coming up with it. That's going to be a double.
Now watch this. Cervelli setting way inside again early. He moved early, and I guarantee you Jaso could feel that, and he was looking in for that fastball, and he drills it. He turns on it. Just all hands right there. Good hip turn as well. That was a bullet over Swisher's head.
Here's Carl Crawford. Crawford bunts right side, and that's a dandy. Cano has no play. A bunt base hit for Crawford. It's first and third. Crawford pushed the bunt by the pitcher, and that gave Cano no chance.
I think Vasquez thought he was going toward third with the bunt. You watch Vasquez's reactions. He's breaking off the mound toward third base, and once he took one step that way, forget about it. Take a look. Watch Vasquez right here. Just a little hesitation, thinking I'm going to go toward third, and Carl ends up dropping it down and pulling it beautifully. Great execution right there.
First and third for Evan Longoria. And he's out in front. Fouls it back. The breaking ball. Strike one. Evan with 67 runs batted in. Second on the club. One behind Carlos Pena. First inning opportunity for the Rays tonight. One and one.
Short, quick stride by Vasquez, trying to speed it up to eliminate Carl Crawford stealing second on him. You'd love to see Carl to get into scoring position too here with nobody out by stealing.
And a move to first. Crawford's back in there.
Could also open up a hole for Evan. He gets a strike right here to hit. A throw over again.
Carl's back in. Vasquez has not been an easy pitcher to run against.
No, he hasn't. You're right.
In fact, he hasn't given up a stolen base in his last 16 starts. This is his 19th start overall. And a shot into left field. Gardner goes back. The tag at third. Jaso's on his way to the plate, and the Rays lead 1-0. Sacrifice fly to left off the bat of Longoria, and the Rays have the first run of the night.
Good execution, because we always talk about let the first man drive that run in by making contact, no matter how you do it. You don't have to have a base hit, and Evan was trying to get the ball in the air, and he did. Good job.
And now Carlos Pena will be up there. Pena and Longoria tied for the team lead in runs batted in. You can see the numbers for Carlos. He has swung the bat very well lately. Crawford sets up at first, and a step back by Vasquez. He'll pay even more attention to Crawford now.
Yeah, you may even see a pitch out here early in the first two pitches, just to let Carl know, hey, we'll do that. We will pitch out.
There he goes, and a pitch out, and the throw is not in time. Crawford in with a stolen base. Carl Crawford on the first pitch on a pitch out steals second base. That's number 400 for Crawford in his career. Crawford with 400 career steals before the age of 29.
He's a special player, and I'll tell you what, on a pitch out to still beat the throw, that tells you how quick Carl Crawford is. That was a good pitch out and a good throw by Cervelli, and he still beat it.
Now the Rays have Crawford in scoring position, and Pena's out in front of the pitch. 1-1. Look at the steal.
Yeah, not a surprise. Perfect pitch out. Nice release. And the tag's too late. people might say, well, why don't you throw it and put it right on the bag? Well, really, you don't want to put it on the bag. You want to put it, maybe around belt high to thigh high, because you don't want the infielder to have to go down to get the ball. So the throw is a little bit high, but still, that's not a bad throw. That gets 90% of the runners in the game, but not Carl Crawford.
Hot shot foul up that right side. Look out. And the count now 1-2. Well, Crawford with that steal becomes the 7th player in baseball history to reach 400 steals before the age of 29. He's one triple away from his 100th triple, and if he can get that before August the 5th, he and Ty Cobb will be the only 2 players in the modern era to accomplish that feat. That's low. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Wow, if he could get that, you can't take that away from him, can you? He mentioned with Ty Cobb, and
boy, I'll tell you, that is
same sentence.
That is great company in terms of baseball accomplishments. And Pena swings and misses an off-speed pitch. He was out in front and is out on strikes.
Number 20, Matt Joyce.
Yeah, that had good depth to it too. Good arm speed by Javi Vasquez.
So Crawford at second still, now with 2 outs. And here's Matt Joyce, and what a homestand it's been for this young man. He used to sit in the stands and cheer for Fred McGriff here at Tropicana Field, and now he's doing what Freddie did. Pick up home runs and other extra base hits and drive in key runs. 1 ball, no strikes, the count to Matt.
And I think in this sequence they'll stay away from his power. They'll stay away from middle in unless they've got 2 strikes again. So I think Matt's got to think base hit here. Try to go up the middle, left center.
And he takes a strike. A curveball, 1-1.
Thinking about that pitch out, Dwayne, the velocity of that pitch out was only 76 miles an hour, and that's something of note. And I'm sure Joe Girardi will kind of put that in the back of his head, because when you throw a pitch out, you still want your best fastball. He threw that like a changeup.
Ground ball, pulled foul, 1-2.
Defensively for the Yankees tonight, Brett Gardner in left and Curtis Granderson in center field. Nick Swisher out there in right. Around the infield, Alex Rodriguez, Derek Jeter, Robbie Cano, and Mark Teixeira. And as we mentioned, Francisco Cervelli behind the plate. And the reason I say about the velocity is because obviously the slower the pitch, another stride or 2 that Carl Crawford could get to second base.
Yeah, you're splitting seconds when you're trying to throw out good base runners. Well, speedy base runner.
A guy like Carl Crawford with his lead, he gets down to second base in 3.1 seconds. So if the pitcher's about a 1.3 from his first move to the catcher, and the catcher from glove to glove down to second is 1.8, that's, you got to be very quick to throw a 1.8. If you're around 2-0, most catchers try to get at least 2-0 or under, but
ground ball right side. Cano with the pickup. Joyce is out. The Rays are finished, but they pick up a run. And at the end of an inning, it's 1-0 Tampa Bay.
Now it's your local.
Last Monday when Matt Garza threw the first no-hitter in Rays history, and you can collect a piece of history with this commemorative Matt Garza no-hitter poster presented by the St. Petersburg Times. Coming up Tuesday, August 3rd, the first 10,000 fans get one, so visit RaysBaseball.com and get your tickets today. Alex Rodriguez In his quest for home run number 600, will lead off the second inning for New York. Hitting .272 for the year with 16 home runs this season. And the pitch is inside. His most recent home run was on July the 22nd. So he's gone 30 at bats since hitting that home run. Last night he was 0 for 4. And a cut and a miss. Fastball 1-1.
93, and this was down, and look at that movement. Wow, that's late tailing action. Good fastball.
Rodriguez 7 of 15 lifetime against Garza with a home run. And Garza drops a curveball over for a strike, and he got the call that time. Scott Berry saw one in the first inning that was a good pitch. He missed it, but I think because he saw that one, this one is a strike.
Yeah, I think that first curveball fooled everybody. It was so good.
One, two, and it's ball 2, getting away from Shopping. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Couple of the new Yankees looking on from the New York dugout. Charge is 2-2, and it's outside. Threw him a slider that time, and the count reaches 3-2. Rodriguez waiting. Garza's all set. And there's ball 4. He threw him a fastball inside. So Rodriguez walks his first time up.
Yeah, tried to come in and came way in. Almost hit Alex Rodriguez on the left elbow. Got out of the way.
So the runner at first. Now it's Robinson Cano. Cano hitting .330. He is having an outstanding season for the Yankees. There's a strike. He had a very good first half, and he's really throughout his career been a better second half hitter than first half.
Yeah, I mean, I think he's going to lead a league in hitting a couple, maybe 3 times in his career. Who knows? But he can hit because he goes the other way so well. He has good power to left field.
And the pitch is a ball as A-Rod bluffed to start off first, and Shapa came up ready to throw.
Alex has only stolen a couple of bases, but you know, in his prime when he was younger, he was stealing 35-40 bases. But he'll pick his spots if you don't pay attention to him.
There are the first half, second half splits. And a shot toward the right field corner. That's going to one-hop the wall. Rodriguez on his way to third. It's a double for Cano. And New York comes up with a threat with nobody out in the second inning. Cano pulled the fastball for a 2-base hit. Well, as we know, Garza faced only 27 hitters in that no-hitter. He gave up a walk. And until the walk and the double here by Cano, Garza had retired 25 straight hitters before the Yankees put these two men on base.
Yeah, and he tried to get inside with that fastball and left it out over the plate a little bit too much. Cano, of course, is an excellent fastball hitter, and he had plenty of the plate on that one, and he smokes it to right field.
And here is Nick Swisher. So a major threat for New York, because Swisher, who's been so tough on Rays pitching, that includes Garza. He's 5 out of 10 against Matt with a couple home runs. The pitch is high. There's the home run he hit last night off Wade Davis.
Yeah, that ball was about belled high and out over the plate as well. First ball swinging in the first inning.
Pitch inside. Garza is behind Swisher. Take a look at that pitch.
Yeah, that's an excellent pitch. Did not get the call. The home plate umpire's head is right there over the inside corner.
Yeah, if he doesn't see that.
Yep.
Because that's where he's slotted. Pitch off the plate in, and Swisher started to go but checked on the appeal. That's why you expect sometimes that pitch away might be in question, because the umpire is slotted right over the inside corner. So if there's a question, it's usually the pitch away.
Yeah, that's what they call. Here's his head right here, in between the hitter and the catcher. That is what they call it, to the slot. They got the inside corner covered with their eyesight.
Swinging 3-0 at the fastball. Swisher fouls it back.
And it'll be just the opposite when a right-handed hitter comes up. They'll be in between the hitter and the catcher from the right side of the plate. That's why you always feel as a catcher you get a few more inches off the outside corner. As long as you don't jerk the ball back in and just kind of frame it correctly, smoothly.
Swing and a miss, a fastball, and he threw it by him to take the count all the way out.
Well, Swisher took a shot at turning on one, hitting one out. Got just up above his hands, big swing underneath it.
Curtis Granderson is on deck.
I can see Matt be able to go right back at that same spot where it's too close to take if Swisher has to swing at it. Either go for the pop out or strikeout.
Now the 3-2 and a long foul, well out of play, deep down the right side. So Swisher looking for the fastball and around early on it.
Yep, and he had a pretty good idea they were going to try to go up again. Was able to get on top of it enough to stay alive.
Two again. And strike 3 call. Boy, a 3-2 curveball and a dandy from Garza to get Swisher looking. He tried to act his way into a walk again, but it didn't work.
He knew it too. And I was thinking, boy, if he could drop that curveball on him, there's no way you get a swing out of Swisher. And that's exactly what Matt did. You know, and he threw it high enough too, where the umpire, there was no question that it was a strike.
One away, and here's Curtis Granderson. He fouls the fastball back. That's a strike. Granderson, 251 on the year, and double figures with 10 home runs. It's fouled the other way, out of play. Another fastball, and it's 0-2.
Might as well go for another strikeout now. Get the count in your favor.
Rose ahead a 10-pitch first inning, a 1-2-3 frame. Trying to pitch out of trouble in the second. The 0-2 breaking ball, and it's not going to go for the strike. Scott Berry would not give him the call. Here's the look.
Yeah, good overhand backdoor curveball. There's nothing wrong with that, though. Missed by a little bit. It's a nice try.
A 1-2 count. Anderson lifts a high foul down the left side. That's twisting away from Crawford and out of play. So the count remains 1-2.
Might want to go back up and see if he can get a strikeout. After a couple of curveballs away and a fastball away.
The 1-2 delivery again, up with the fastball. 2-2. Red Sox have beaten the Tigers. Big Poppy with a 3-run walk-off double. 5-4 the Red Sox over the Tigers. Here we're in the second inning. The 2-2. He tries the breaking ball, blocked by Shopik. Full count.
Well, you certainly don't have to give in because you got a double play man on deck in Cervelli. Tried a couple of curveballs. Might be able to get him on that nice slider. Throws that strikeout slider at the back foot that he has.
Got a big strikeout looking on Swisher when he threw a 3-2 curveball. 3-2 now to Granderson. And a high fly ball off a fastball. Crawford's going to catch it in left. Rodriguez will tag. He's going to score to tie the game. And Granderson took the fastball the other way, made contact, and hits the sacrifice fly. Cano stays at second.
Well, he got a hittable pitch. They stayed away from him, and that's just a good contact swing from Curtis Granderson. And Carl Crawford knows there's no chance. He just gets it back into third base.
Now the catcher, Francisco Cervelli. And he takes a first pitch fastball for a strike. Cervelli doing the catching last night. Posada caught and went 0 for 4. A little bit away. Fastball on the other side of the plate, but off the plate.
Cervelli's been a scrappy hitter. You look at those numbers a moment ago. 328 with runners in scoring position. He really used the field, go the other way. Now, Shopik may have noticed something too, that perhaps Robbie Cano is relaying either location or signs. And they may have switched the signs up. That's why Jason Bartlett got involved, so he knows what's coming as well. That's the guy that can, you don't even have to have the pitch, but there's different ways to relay location by the way you come off the bag at second.
That's a strike. Fastball around the knees. 1 and 2.
And if anybody would want that, a catcher would want that. He would know he would like. So you're setting up early there. Righty to righty, if you're setting up inside early, it's a fastball. There's no other pitch it's going to be. You don't set up inside on an overhand curveball or a changeup.
And a fly ball back into center field. Upton is there though and makes the catch. Cervelli hits the fastball to center. The Yankees score 1. We're tied 1-1.
Bottom half of the second between the Rays and the Yankees. Time to check in on our Autoway text poll question of the evening. As you know, today was the trading deadline, so we asked the Rays fans, how do you think the Rays did? TB1 for, well, they didn't really need to make a move. TB2, you like the addition of Chad Qualls. TB3, they needed to make a bigger move. Or TB4, they can still add a piece during the month of August. Text your vote to 789-789. Standard message and data rate supply. That poll is brought to you by Autoway. If you need a car, truck, or van, call 1-800-SHOP-AUTOWAY. Guys?
Here's Chad Qualls, the newest addition to the Rays bullpen. The Rays today putting Grant Balfour on the disabled list. And Qualls comes over from the Arizona Diamondbacks. The Rays actually had interest in him before the injury to Balfour. There's a strike to Sean Rodriguez, and we saw Qualls during the interleague part of the schedule when the Diamondbacks played here. And Rodriguez hits a fly ball into right, but Swisher back to the track has room and makes the catch. 1 away. Qualls potentially a significant addition to the Rays bullpen. He had some very good years in Houston and is a little less than a year removed from surgery on his knee when he dislocated the kneecap and had surgery last September. But when he was in that Houston bullpen along with Wheeler and Lidge, that was a very solid threesome in their bullpen, and Qualls along with Wheeler both were very good at getting left-handed hitters out. If you look at Qualls' numbers in those years, he was very effective in that regard.
He's got that good sinker when he's 100% and right. And he talked about that. I heard him with Todd on the pregame show. And this is when you can get a guy like Chad Qualls, when the D-backs closer in the cellar and they're moving players, moving veteran guys, and the guy hasn't had a great year. But we saw him in interleague play, and we both talked about the landing leg, the left leg. It looked like he was still at that time. Now that was a while back, favoring it a little bit. And hearing him this afternoon, he echoed that.
Yeah, and knew that as a result of that, it's not uncommon for a player to have a physical issue and then come back and develop some bad habits in their mechanics as a result of that. He acknowledged that, trying to work that out and get back to where he was. And a healthy Chad Qualls is a significant addition to the bullpen.
Well, look at his numbers last year.
It's fouled back, and so the count is still 2-2 here to B.J. Upton. Yeah, they were very good, particularly when you look at innings pitched and strikeouts and walks. He was in 08 for Arizona in 77 games, 71 strikeouts and only 18 walks and a little over 73 innings.
Yeah, that was a fabulous year.
And then even last year in 52 innings, he walked only 7 and struck out 45.
Excellent.
In 51 games, and then had that season cut short because of the injury. Still 2-2 to Upton. So he's a guy who has a history of consistent success, and he's been in some postseason situations as well.
Well, that doesn't hurt either. I'm sure that's what Andrew Friedman was thinking about as well.
Roller to third. Rodriguez up with it. The throw to first. And so Upton is out number 2. In fact, if you look at his numbers, and he's 31 years old, he'll be 32 next month. But the first 6 years of his career and then this season, as he's tried to come back from that injury, That gives you an idea of the consistency of his success.
And the 20 at the bottom right there, the 21 postseason innings we just touched on. Yeah, you go by the track record. You got to discount this year because he's coming off a serious knee injury. And he's feeling better now, getting better and better. It hasn't been a year yet.
Ellie Shopik misses that first pitch. Rays scored a run in the first. The Yankees scored a run in the second. Shopik and the Rays facing Javier Vasquez. And the breaking ball drops in for the New York right-hander. 0-2. Well, that curveball, he took a little something extra off that one. That one was sub 70.
Yeah, that was the Bugs Bunny curve right there. 64 miles an hour. Big slow curve you recoil on twice as a hitter.
And he comes back with a slider and strikes him out. We go to the third, tied 1-1.
Could switching to Geico really save you 15% or more on car insurance? Can football announcer Andres Cantor make any sport exciting?
Ha sido una partida intensa hoy. Jadrowski está pensando. Veamos qué va a hacer. Moverá la reina, moverá el caballo. ¡Qué tensión! ¡Viene! ¡Gol!
Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
A woman is diagnosed with breast cancer every 3 minutes.
The Breast Cancer Research Foundation improves prevention and treatment by funding the top researchers around the world.
Fox Sports asks you to join our team to help strike out breast cancer. Please visit bcrfcure.org for more information.
Support the Breast Cancer Research Foundation today to save lives tomorrow.
Wherever you are, you'll feel it. Whatever you're doing, you'll know it. There's just no mistaking it. When you're a Gator fan, there's always a growl within.
Breakfast with the Gators, presented by Regions Bank, Sunday mornings on Sun Sports. Sunday on Sun Sports, we're in Montgomery, Alabama, home of the Rays AA affiliate. We'll take you behind the scenes with the Biscuits and show you why.
With the starters in the bullpen, that's been enough.
Yeah, they haven't had a ton of hitting really this homestand, but finally hitting good enough for an undefeated homestand so far.
Garza started it all with that no-hitter. The first no-hitter in Rays history. He faces Brett Gardner. Gardner, the number 9 hitter, he's leading off the third, and he would be a good leadoff hitter in anybody's lineup. Pitch is a strike.
You're right. Joe Girardi doesn't mind this. We talked about it last night. 9 and 1 are interchangeable in the big leagues in the American League as far as leading off. So now Gardner in the 9 spot and Jeter behind him, back in his normal 2 spot today in this inning.
There's a strike and a light moment with involving Girardi before the game when Don Zimmer was visiting with Girardi, and I asked Girardi, I said, what are you going to do with all these new players you have? And Zim says he doesn't know what to do with them. He says he just flips a coin.
Well, that's actually interesting because Swisher was doing a nice job in the 2 spot.
The 0-2, and that's strike 3. So Gardner is out on strikes to start the third.
Yeah, just went fastball down and away, little tailing action. A little surprised Gardner even took a check swing at that.
Yeah.
That wasn't even close.
There's Don Zimmer. He's the Rays senior advisor, and of course he's spent time with Joe Girardi all the way back to the Chicago days and then the Yankee days, and they have great affection for each other. There's a strike. Derek Jeter up there.
Well, Zim's the one that really got Joe Girardi to New York when Jorge Posada was just first coming up and kind of mentored Jorge Posada. Joe Girardi did. As the veteran.
That pitch is inside 1-1. Jeter grounded to second his first time. Bounces this one foul, rolls it toward the New York dugout. Tony Pena over there.
In Joe Girardi's thinking, because Berkman is swinging so much better from the left side this year, he's hitting under 200 from the right side. He wanted Berkman in the 2 spot because he felt that with Cano hitting 5th and Granderson hitting 7th, if Joe Madden brings in Randy Choate and Berkman happened to be hitting 6th.
It's foul ball, still 1-2.
That technically, or any lefty for that matter, could face 3 hitters in a row there because they would turn Berkman around. And Joe Girardi didn't want that, so that's why he has Swisher tonight down in the 6th spot.
But I'm sure he still had to think long and hard to move Swisher out of there because he's been so good to set up their offense out of the number 2 spot.
Well, that's my thinking too.
Oh, he just missed right there with a fastball, and it's 2-2.
Jeter will always make this look worse than what it is. We've seen him back away from inside pitches his whole career, but it was plenty inside, not as close as Derek made it look. But hey, any help to the umpire, Derek will give it to him.
He'll figure out a way to beat you, that's for sure.
He sure will.
The 2-2. Fouls this one away. You know, there's certain guys who you just feel that way about, and Jeter's one of them. I always felt that way about Greg Maddux. You know, he's a guy who will figure out a way to beat you.
Isn't that the truth? Even if it's with his gloves.
Yep.
Defensively as a pitcher. See that last pitch, you know, Jeter's protecting. That probably was a ball. He just had a little half swing to foul it off. He doesn't want to be called out for a third right there.
A swing and a miss. That was a fastball with some action on it right there to get Jeter.
Yeah, Matt's got some movement. He's had some movement down and into righties and away from lefties. This one, he actually missed location. He was trying to go in, and he painted away. And it was a strike. If Jeter hadn't swung, it would have been a strike. Called.
2 strikeouts in the inning, 3 in the game for Garza. Here's Lance Berkman. Fastball up. Garza worked the veteran Berkman with fastballs his first time. Eventually got him on a fly ball to short right field. Two and 0.
It's interesting the deal that the Yankees were able to make with the Astros to have them take back what, $4 million of the salary?
Yeah, you know, he has
and the buyout
14 and a half, I think, and then a $2 million buyout.
Well, what I was told today is they did the buyout, and so Berkman would be a free agent. Houston took the buyout.
And a pop up third base side. Longoria takes care of that to retire the side. 1, 2, 3. Bottom of the third coming. We're tied 1-1. In tonight's game and all season long, Tires Plus donates $100 to the Pediatric Cancer Foundation for every Tampa Bay Rays home run televised on Sun Sports and Fox Sports Florida. Bottom of inning 3 coming. The Rays and the Yankees have a 1-1 tie. Jason Bartlett leads it off, then John Jaso and Carl Crawford So the 9, 1, and 2 hitters due up here against Javier Vasquez. Rays scored their run in the first. The Yankees got one in the second. And here's Bartlett hitting .240 for the year. And that first pitch is on the outside corner. A strike is called. Bartlett a .273 lifetime average. Over 33 at bats against the New York right-hander. Pops it up on the right side, and Teixeira into foul territory and makes the catch. One away. And we'll go back to the top of the order now. John Jaso. Jaso doubled to start the Rays first and scored a run. He scored on Longoria's sacrifice fly. Pitch is a strike. Vasquez coming off a 3-2 win his last time out against Cleveland. The Yankees opened their road trip and took 3 out of 4 from the Indians in Cleveland. The Rays beat them 3-2 last night.
Well,
upstairs 2-1.
The Yankees went out and did what Brian Cashman pretty much said he was going to do. Once they lost Cliff Lee, he said last week that that was their target. They were not going to go after Roy Oswalt. They were going to go after bullpen help and bench help. And that's exactly what he was able to do.
2 balls, 2 strikes.
Of course, you know, the way Jabba Chamberlain threw last night.
Yeah.
he could get right back into that 8th inning role.
This one's headed toward the left field line, and so is Gardner, who dives and can't come up with it. Back into the corner. Jaso hitting second. He'll round the bag and head for third, and is in there standing up. John Jaso with his second triple of the year into the left field corner this time.
Well, last at bat, the Yankees tried to come in twice on John, and he was ready for it. He drilled a triple to right. This time they went off speed and change-ups and 2-seamers away, and he got a pitch up. Nice short compact swing, good use of the hands, and once it got by Gardner, John got it to play right in front of him. Quick peek over at Tom Foley, but he knows once it gets by Gardner, he's got to get to third base, and he makes it easily.
So now the Rays have the potential go-ahead run at third with 1 out in the third. And the Yankees draw the infield tight with Carl Crawford at the plate. Carl bunted his way on the first time up. And the pitch is inside. A fastball around 87.
Well, that's interesting with a guy that's hitting about 340 against right-handed pitching, Carl Crawford, and the best base stealer in the American League, and you got the infield in, because if he rolls one through the infield, he can be in scoring position himself. But Joe Girardi does not want to give up the run.
And a little roller foul. A curveball and had him out in front.
That would tell you that Joe respects what Matt Garza stuff dictates and the way Matt's throwing.
Garza has made 50 pitches through 3 innings and has given up 1 run, 1 hit. A 1-1 count to Crawford. That's a bit inside. 2 balls and a strike.
Carl's got to get a ball up. Javi's been throwing that slider and that slow curveball. I'm sure that's what Joe Girardi's thinking. He'd get a ground ball with Javi's stuff, the way he sinks it and moves it.
2-1. Crawford into left field. There's a base hit. Jaso scores and the Rays lead 2-1 as Crawford takes it the other way. Driving in his 56th run, Crawford came into the game hitting .382 with runners in scoring position, and he comes through again.
Yeah, this is a two-seamer away, and Carl goes down and gets it with the back leg. Nice use of going down and getting it right there, and gets his hands through it. And let's see, if Jeter's back, would he have had this? Might have been right at him. He might have had that with a leap, but definitely in, he had no chance. That's debatable. But the point is, now the Rays are in the situation we just talked about. Run is in, and now Carl can get into scoring position.
Well, he stole second base in the first on a pitch out. His 38th steal of the year and number 400 of his career. The pitch is a strike on the outer edge. 0-1 to Longoria.
Back to that pitch out count now. 0-1.
Carl takes his lead. Outside and low. 1-1. A run in the first for the Rays, another run in the third. Crawford in, standing up. Juan Pierre with 39 steals, and Carl Crawford next with 38. Brett Gardner out there has 30. He's tied for fourth. Carl again back in.
Yeah, you're still in a pitch out count 1-1. Because Vasquez has pretty good command, so even if he gets behind, it's okay.
And the curveball, and he really goosed that curveball in there at about 67, 68 miles per hour.
Sure did. One of those ones he threw to Kelly Shopik last inning. Looks like it went around the plate actually from that shot.
Ground ball to third. Rodriguez to Cano 1. First base 2. 5-4-3 on the double play to retire the side, but the Rays get a run and take the lead through 3. 2-1 Tampa Bay. To the fourth inning, Teixeira, Rodriguez, and Cano due up. 2-1 the Rays lead. Time for our AT&T trivia question. Who's the only pitcher in MLB history to throw back-to-back no-hitters? Matt Garza coming off his no-hitter over Detroit on Monday. Been one pitcher to throw back-to-back no-hitters in the big leagues. Mark Teixeira will open the fourth inning. Garza gave up a double to Cano in the second. And the first pitch is a fastball fouled straight back, strike one. Teixeira hitting against the shift again here in the fourth. He grounded out to the left side in the first with Longoria the only man over there. Evan actually threw him out from what is normally the shortstop spot. This one pulled up the right side, and that's a foul ball, taking the count to 0-2.
Yeah, pretty good curveball, and Teixeira just kind of raked it to right field and looked off the bat like he might have a double. Take that break.
So it's an 0-2 count. Hot shot foul outside of first. Still a 2-strike count. Matt Garza 1-3 lifetime against New York. Last time he faced him was last September up in New York in a no decision. Foul back. Still an 0-2 count. Rays a game behind New York in the American League East. These two teams have been red hot for the month of July. And a wave and a foul ball. Just a little piece of it. Deflection.
That was a good pitch too. Kelly Shopik coming out of the chute there, hoping to get a little tapper in front of the plate. He's had some pretty good movement, late movement going away. That was off the outside corner. You can see it was a ball, but you know, again, protection. That's smart hitting right there by Teixeira.
And a shot lined into the seats up the right side. Foul. A hot shot souvenir heads up down that way.
Yeah, he's hit a few down there. That was a slider that time.
Again, the 0-2 pitch. And a one hopper this time to Bartlett, who's playing the second base spot. And so Teixeira's out of there, hitting into the shift. One away. Well, the all-time home run leaders, the 600 club. Barry Bonds, of course, topping that. Bonds, Aaron, and Ruth over 700. Then Mays, Ken Griffey Jr., and Sammy Sosa. And Alex Rodriguez knocking at the door on 600. 599. He walked to open the second inning. 39 plate appearances. And 30 official at bats. And the pitch is a strike, a fastball.
That had Alex jumping back right there early. He's got that great power to right center.
This one down and away. Slider. Take a look at that.
Yeah, pretty close. Good. You see the red dot of that slider right there. Good center field camera shot. Dictates the slider right there. Hitters will see that.
Foul ball back. It's off the facing of the upper deck. The count is 1-2. Rodriguez struck out, flied out, and fouled out twice last night. Walked and scored tonight. Now the 1-2. And it's down and away. It was a hard slider. 2-2. All set. And a high fly ball up the right side, foul, and out of play. So we'll have another 2-2 pitch coming. A-Rod has hit a good portion of his home runs early in the count. We discussed it last night. He's hit 100 home runs on the first pitch and 71 home runs on an 0-1 pitch. And it's a high fly ball into right. Matt Joyce coming in, makes the catch, Rodriguez is out, number 2.
Now the Rays have had success so far in this series on Alex, going and finishing him off with fastballs up. There's the start of it right there on the first pitch. Good slider, didn't get the call. Fastball away is up. Good slider right there. Another fastball up. And then in on the hands again. Fastball up. So that's been the game plan the last couple of nights, and they've pretty much shut Alex down so far.
2 gone in the 4th. Oh, it's Robinson Cano. One strike. Cano doubles in the right his first time.
That's how he started Robbie out in his first at bat, with a fastball on the outside corner, and then he tried to come in, and Robinson turned on it for another one of his doubles.
And he shoots it toward left center field. That ball is well hit off the wall. It caroms back to Upton. Into second goes Cano with his second double of the night and his 30th of the year. He is some kind of hitter.
He is. That's why he's hitting over 330 now. Good fastball again. It's a little bit up, and he goes with it. That's why he hits so well. He goes to left center. We talked about that in his first at bat, how well he goes opposite field. He got 2 fastballs away. The second one, I mean, he's so strong. That ball had a chance to actually carry out of the ballpark. It's deepest part of the ballpark, opposite field right there for a lefty.
And now here is Nick Swisher, and as we discussed in the first game of this series, he's been nothing but trouble for the Rays since putting on a New York uniform. A quick strike away from him on the corner. Swisher caught looking on a 3-2 curveball the first time around. Oh, 2. Robinson Cano at second base. He has both New York hits. One ball, 2 strikes.
Matt has confidence, doesn't he? That fastball.
Yes, he does. And that's something that Shopik has attempted to develop in him. I mean, Garza likes the fastball anyway, but Shopik continues to tell these Rays hitters or Rays pitchers with that high velocity fastball to use it. Swing and a miss. He came back with a curveball. After all the hard stuff, got him swinging on the curveball. No runs. 1 hit, 1 left. Bottom of the 4th coming. 2-1 Rays. 2-1. We go to the bottom half of the 4th inning. And it's time to get the answer to our AT&T trivia question. The only pitcher in MLB history to throw back-to-back no-hitters. And that would be Johnny Vandermeer in 1938 with the Cincinnati Reds against the Boston Braves and the Brooklyn Dodgers in June of '38. And then that's not the only no-hitter he threw. And it wasn't uncommon in those days for players to go back to the minor leagues and end their careers in the minor leagues. Here's Carlos Pena taking a pitch inside, 1-0. And 14 years later, Vandermeer pitching in the Texas League for Tulsa. Pitched another no-hitter against Beaumont and won that game 12-0.
Yeah, they needed a paycheck.
Yeah, that's exactly right in those days. So that would have been in 1952. And the other little side note on Johnny Vandermeer, if I'm not mistaken, when he passed away, it was in Tampa. So a little baseball history.
Yeah, a little trivia there.
Connected with this Tampa Bay region. There's a strike. 2-1 the count on Carlos Pena. Matt Joyce next, and then Sean Rodriguez. 2-1 game, Rays lead. Carlos lifts the fly ball, right center field. Granderson, the center fielder, who's there to catch it. One away, and right now let's check in with Todd Callis.
Dwayne, thank you so much. With Andrew Friedman, Executive Vice President of Baseball Operations. I know you haven't had much sleep lately, so I appreciate you joining us. Tell us about the day. Any sense of disappointment you were not able to lock in on another deal?
No, I think with the process, and it really starts right after the draft. And we start getting into potential targets and getting our scouts out in different areas to start honing in on guys. And it's such a long period of time that we go through it very, very thoroughly. And it's something that if it doesn't line up, it's not like you get to 405 and you think, oh, I wish we would have done something differently, because we've gone through it so much. You'd always like to add, and you'd always like to, figure out a way to make your team better. But I think the one thing that the depth that we have on our roster, you look at the guys not playing tonight, look at the guys in Durham, it allowed us to have a much higher threshold. And so we targeted, potentially impact type guys. And whenever you do that, obviously it's more difficult than if you're looking for, kind of round out and pieces around the edges and on the periphery. So it makes it more difficult. But, we got creative, and today was a frenzy. And just like every year, there's things that pop up today that you haven't really discussed, and it's inevitable. We try to prepare for them and, obviously try to get in front of it a little bit. But, we went through some things today that I thought had a chance to possibly happen, but ultimately it didn't line up.
You were mentioning earlier you had 5 guys kind of targeted, 3 on one tier, 2 on another. Were you looking, this offense, still third in runs scored per game, but were you looking for more consistency on offense, and one of those guys possibly could have helped with that?
Well, I think anytime you can just make your team better by, getting someone who's additive, it just helps. There were certain profiles of hitters that we felt like fit our existing group a little bit better. But once you start narrowing it down too much, you start getting to where there's one potential guy or 0 potential guys. So all of them had a little bit different skill set and profile. But we felt like, as we approached it, that the one thing we weren't going to do was weaken one of our strengths, which is our defense, to try to strengthen a weakness. So it's either someone who had, DH and had some success there, or a well-rounded position player. Obviously, it becomes a lot more difficult when you do that, but the defense for me is one of the critical components of this team, and something we were not going to disrupt.
I want to talk about the D in a second. With the trade deadline passing, obviously you can still get guys through waivers. Because you targeted big fish in those 5 guys, do you think it's going to be a difficult process as Joyce sends one to first base, and a nice play by Teixeira for the second out? Is it going to be difficult in the process to get these guys possibly in August?
I do think so, and obviously I'm not complaining, but having the second best record makes it even more difficult with where we are in the claiming position. But what we've done in years past is really focus on high impact type guys in July, and you try to continue to do that in August. It's just a lot more difficult, but then start to focus on kind of some periphery pieces, and we've done that in 08 and 09. I don't necessarily anticipate.
Not far from us right here. been nice if you could have done the interview and catch a foul ball.
Would have been well timed.
Ice cream cone.
But you don't anticipate in August.
Yeah, I don't think we're going to have the same need that we did in 08 and 09 to kind of play on the periphery, but we might, and it's something we'll definitely monitor, spend just as much time going through as we have in years past. I think the impact type guy is unlikely. We'll be prepared in the event it happens, but I wouldn't bet on it.
And going back to what you said earlier, that periphery type guy could already be at AAA Durham.
Correct.
Now defensively, it's 1-1 to Sean Rod here with 2 outs. Is this team exceeded? I know you've built this team on pitching and defense. Has this team exceeded what you thought could be a solid defensive team with the improvement of Reed Brignac at second and Ben Zobrist's adaptation to the outfield?
Well, we felt like, with Reed being an above-average shortstop, we felt like once he got into it a little bit more and talking to Foe over the offseason, he felt confident also that, it's just a matter of repetition and really getting him out there more. We felt last year like Zoe was as good as he is this year. I don't necessarily think that Zobrist is much better in that last year he was really, really good anywhere you put him, and I think that's the case this year as well. This offseason as we went through it, we felt like defense would be a strength for us, no question, just as it was in 08. But I think even what it's done is, surpass that in that it seems like these guys are challenging each other on a nightly basis to one-up the other. And, we were talking about it off air. You talk about teams that make some mistakes and you give another team 28, 29, 30 outs. We give other teams 24 outs. And that helps our pitching staff immensely, rests our bullpen more. I mean, the trickle-down effect is immense and something that we feel like puts our guys in a position to score runs late to win games.
Andrew, we really appreciate the time. We know how busy you've been working the phones. This may be the longest stretch you've gone without making a phone call. We thank you for the time.
Thanks, guys. I appreciate it.
All right, Andrew Friedman, guys. It's been a busy day. They certainly were working the phones throughout the trade deadline right up until 4 o'clock today. Back to you.
Yeah, and after all that trade talk and that discussion with Todd, I'm sure Andrew is very tired right now. There's a little ground ball out to second. Cano with the pickup and the flip to first. 1, 2, 3. Go the Rays, and we head into the 5th. It's 2-1 Rays. Lead as we go to the 5th inning, and it's time to look forward to the upcoming Rays schedule. Brought to you by Just for Men Hair Color. Little game of the series with New York. The Yankees in again tomorrow afternoon, and then the Minnesota Twins are in for 4 before the Rays go to Toronto and Detroit. And as we look forward to the upcoming Rays schedule, you can live forward with Just for Men Hair Color. Rays will have James Shields on the mound tomorrow against CC Sabathia in the wrap-up game of this series. Coverage begins at 1 o'clock tomorrow. Curtis Granderson takes the first pitch. That's a strike. Granderson, Cervelli, and Gardner due up in the 5th inning. One and one.
Oh, that's a nice pitch. That's where you like to stay, right down there.
Fastball.
Yep. Right at the knees.
We'll take the count to a ball, 2 strikes. 4 strikeouts tonight for Garza. Giving up 1 walk. That was the leadoff walk to Alex Rodriguez in the 2nd, and he later scored. Looking to keep the leadoff guy in an inning off the bases. The ground ball to 2nd will accomplish that. Rodriguez with a throw to first. And that's 1 away. Don't miss your last chance for 2010 Rays season tickets. You can guarantee yourself postseason opportunities along with other great benefits. Visit RaysBaseball.com or call 888-FAN-RAYS. And we want to pass along a big hello to Don Ringhauser, the Manatee County firefighter. He's a bit under the weather, and his friends and fellow Rays fans up in the Belfry section at 302 send out their best from the trop tonight. A speedy recovery. Foul ball by Cervelli. Francisco Cervelli, strike 1. And Jess King is here with his daughter Carrie, and they are a big part of the Rays TV family and rooting the Rays on. An attempt, and that's a foul ball in behind the plate umpire Scott Berry.
Element of surprise right there, but not good to do that when you're already down with 1 strike. So now you put yourself down with 0-2.
Joe Girardi, the manager of the New York Yankees. This one is down. Girardi's still the second youngest manager in the major leagues behind Cleveland's Manny Acta. It's his 3rd season as the skipper of the Yankees. Joe Girardi.
Yeah, he got a championship in his 2nd year. Wearing number 27. This year it's 28, right? This number?
Yep. And the pitch just missed down.
Wow, that's a good pitch.
It's 2-2.
See, Matt's unhappy with that call. Let's take a look at Fox Tracks. It's off the outside corner, but wow, that's one of those ones normally it's too close to take. You see the better hitters are fouling that pitch off. Jeter, Teixeira, A-Rod, they're not taking that pitch.
Swing and a miss. Cervelli out on strikes, reaching for the fastball down there that time. Strikeout number 5.
They went back to the same spot, very similar location, and Cervelli couldn't reach it.
Two outs in the 5th. Now Brett Gardner. Gardner out on strikes his first time. Shortens on the bat, and that's a strike. The first pitch fastball.
I think this has been an all fastball inning again. But he's working the rectangle. He's working both sides, up, down, in, out.
There's a great lesson in that for a lot of pitchers with good fastballs, and you don't have to go to those secondary pitches if you can command the fastball and the various parts of the strike zone.
Well, it's still the best pitch in baseball. You know, you have command of that, and then boy, he has picked some really good spots when he's thrown his curveball, especially on Nick Swisher twice for strikeouts. Once looking, once swinging.
Strike 3 call. A fastball got him. Back-to-back strikeouts to end the top half of the 5th. 1, 2, 3 go the Yankees. Home half of the inning coming. 2-1 Rays. 5 solid innings tonight of 2-hit 1-run baseball, striking out 6. Rays scored in the first on Longoria's sacrifice fly. The Yankees got a run in the second on a fly ball by Granderson, and the Rays re-grabbed the lead on the RBI single by Carl Crawford in the third, scoring John Jaso. And as we go to the bottom of the 5th inning, before a full house at Tropicana Field tonight, the Rays will send B.J. Upton to the plate. Upton, Shopik, and Bartlett against Javier Vasquez. Upton fouls one off his foot. That's a strike. Vasquez is one pitcher against whom Upton has had great success. Come again, he was 8 of 15 off him. Grounded to third his first time.
Well, that's a pretty good cross reference right there. 15 at bats and 8 hits. He actually hit the ball hard to third base too. He hit a slider. I can see BJ really get going here. He could be a big boost for the Rays.
And he shoots it up the left field line. Fair. That's going to bounce up over that low wall and into the stands for a ground rule double. So Upton continues to hit well against Vasquez.
It's really amazing how certain, no matter what your batting average is, certain pitchers you feel comfortable against and you see all their pitches. Here's your checkers double of the game. This is a two-seamer that ran back inside. And BJ was able to get the head out in front and big finish right there and shoot a double down the line. It's your checkers double of the game. That was a two-seamer that Vasquez tried to hit the outside corner. He just missed location in. Love that slow motion shot. Well,
so speed at second for Shopik.
I was going to say the Yankees are expecting bunt from Shopik, and I got to believe I might think about it too here if I'm Joe Madden.
Showing bunt, third base side, a good one. Vasquez makes the throw to first with Cano covering. Nicely done as the Rays bunt Upton over to third base. 1-4 on a sacrifice put down by Shopik.
Yeah, just execution baseball. Joe Madden playing the percentages because Kelly Shopik is hitting below 200 right now, and that's an excellent bunt. Good job. Makes the third baseman leave his position. Of course, Vasquez made the play. But that's a nice job.
Now it will be Jason Bartlett, and Bartlett's been having some good bats here in the second half, and this would be a great spot for another one. He's really been battling up there. Fouled out his first time tonight.
And he still has hit well this year with runners in scoring position.
Infield in. And he fouls the first one up the right side out of play.
He got a pitch to hit too to get in the air. He got a hanging slider. Good aggressive swing right there. Second half after the All-Star break at 289. That's more like Jason Bartlett versus the first half numbers at 231.
Yeah, and if he could be more like the Jason Bartlett offensively, that would be a big lift for the Rays offense the second half.
Yeah, that shot he hit actually against Kerry Wood, who's on the other side now. That was a big hit against Cleveland right there at the end of the first half. Game-winning hit.
And he shoots it into right field. Swisher in line to make the catch. The tag, and Upton's headed to the plate. He will score, and Bartlett does the job. Jason Bartlett gives the Rays the kind of quality at bat they're looking for, and they lead 3-1.
You know, on that final Sunday, that's not unlike the ball he shot to right center for the game winner in the right center gap off Kerry Wood, and that's exactly what you want. You want him going the other way, getting it in the air for the sac fly. This is a nice piece of hitting right here.
Kevin, that's what we were discussing the other night on the possibility of trades. The Rays have a couple guys in that dugout and in the lineup tonight who could make a big difference with those kinds of at bats, and it's really nice to see Bartlett continue to deliver like that.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, the two guys that, and there's three that we've talked about. Carlos Pena's already come out of his early season slump, but Jason Bartlett and BJ Upton are two real key right-handed bats.
1-1 to count to John Jaso, who has a double and a triple and 2 runs scored.
Yeah, we were talking about in the open how the lineup is kind of coming together now. Of course, we've got injuries to Zobrist right now, so Jason's back up leading off, but you know, 2, 3, 4, 5, you're starting to get some consistency.
Hot shot that skips past Teixeira and into right field. Jaso's going to go for 2, and he is safe at second base. John Jaso hustles his way into a double. He is 3 for 3 tonight, and that electrifies the Rays crowd here at Tropicana Field. Great hustle by Jaso.
I'll tell you what, too, with 2 outs, that's a great move by Jaso. What's the difference? Get into scoring position with 2 outs. It's a slider up and in. He turns on it, and right out of the box, he's looking for 2 as soon as it got by Teixeira. Now, you don't see that happen very often at Teixeira. It's a nice throw by Nick Swisher. And a good slide, aggressive slide getting in there, John Jaso.
Now here's Crawford. Boy, that could be one big play in this game. The Rays already lead 3-1. As you know, you never have enough runs against the New York offense.
That's right.
And Jaso runs his way into scoring position for Crawford. Boy, a great effort by the Rays DH tonight.
Might be the first time in 2 years I've seen a ball get by Teixeira. That was a rocket, but normally you see him pick it or knock it down, and he laid that one. Almost took his lips off.
2-0 the count now to Carl. The breaking ball's in for a strike.
Mark Teixeira, as he's going for it, sees the big hop, and yeah, there's an Olay right there. He's saving his body and his face right there with that big hop. If he goes to knock that down, it might hit him in the throat. I think that's why he got out of the way this time. He knew he couldn't pick it.
Vasquez calls out Cervelli. Rays with a run in the first, a run in the third, now a run in the fifth inning. And a man in scoring position with 2 outs here in the bottom of the fifth. Crawford fouls it. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Rays about hit New York 6-2 tonight. Jaso's already scored 2 runs and has hustled his way into scoring position for a potential third. Crawford stepping back. Carl has bunted his way on. He lined a single into left in the third to score a run.
I think Cervelli called a changeup. When you go through a sequence and you see the wiggle of the hand, that's usually a changeup.
And Crawford is out on strikes. Fastball up and away, got him. So the Rays leave a man, but they score another run. We are through 5, 3-1 Tampa Bay. The Rays lead 3-1. Matt Garza out there on the hill to face the top of the order. Derek Jeter, Lance Berkman, and Mark Teixeira. Garza's pitch. Swing and a miss. That's 8 consecutive first pitch strikes for Garza and 16 out of 19 tonight.
And Jeter knew a fastball was coming, but that ball had so much depth to it, the bottom fell out of it. So he's mixed in some good fastballs with some sinking type action also, not just strong four-seamers.
Fly ball back into right field. Joyce back, going back. It's going to be over his head off the wall. He gets a good carom, and the throw back to second is not in time as Jeter opens with a double.
Now he got one up there. Let's take a look. Yeah, this ball's just up and out over the plate. Jeter's all over it. Does what he does best, goes to right center with it.
All 3 New York hits have been doubles tonight.
Yeah, Cano's got a couple. Jeter with a rocket right there with a good backspin.
Now it's Lance Berkman, the new addition to the New York lineup. He is the DH. Goes after the first pitch and pops it up. Foul ball. Longoria is there, and that's out number 1.
Well, that's huge, Dwayne, right there. A first pitch, not getting a man over either. Especially with Teixeira and A-Rod coming up.
1 away. Just a reminder to look for the Miller Lite Taste Greatness moment coming up later in tonight's game. Jeter's still at second. Mark Teixeira, the hitter. Rays employ the shift again. And a long drive deep to right, and that one is gone. First pitch fastball, and Teixeira hits his 21st home run of the year. That ties the game.
First pitch fastball. Difference is he missed location. Nothing wrong with calling it one more time away, but he missed. Watch the overhead shot right down the middle. Sir Am Scott replay. Long home run.
So it's tied at 3. Now Alex Rodriguez steps in. And he fouls the fastball back, strike 1. 21st homer for Teixeira, his 73rd and 74th runs batted in. And just like that, it's a tie game.
You know, Matt hasn't thrown a breaking ball for about 6 or 7 hitters now. He's throwing all fastballs, and the Yankees know it, and they're just jumping on the first pitch no matter where it is, as they know it's going to be a straight.
And there's a strike, another fastball to Rodriguez. Yeah, he got Swisher on a 1-2 curveball swinging to end the 4th. And that fastball has been prominent ever since.
That was his last curveball of the game. So for 2 innings, he's shown nothing but fastballs. And Yankees are trying to capitalize on it. There's a curve.
1 ball, 2 strikes.
But again, you know, the fastball to Teixeira was right down the middle. If he hits his spot, it's probably a ground ball to the right side.
Well, you know, it's not going to be easy.
No, it's a grind against this ball club with this lineup.
Missed the slider. He's out on strikes. Strikeout number 7 tonight. A-Rod is 0 for 2.
Yeah, I'm glad they mixed it up because they've been pounding A-Rod up and in with 2 strikes, and now he throws a good slider with depth to it. And this is not even close. Alex just waves at it. Good pitch. I'd like to see Cano get something other than a fastball, because that's all he's gotten, and he's gotten 2 doubles.
Yeah, he doubled to right in the 2nd, doubled up the alley in left center field in the 4th, and a breaking ball to start him, missed. 1 ball, no strikes. Well, that 2-run home run by Teixeira, now a tie game. That's why it's so important for that all-out hustle, as Jaso hustled that shot that he got by Teixeira into a double in the 5th. It gave the Rays an opportunity to score another run.
Yeah.
They left that man there, but that's how you have to play all the time.
Well, and the hustle triple, too. For sure, when the ball got by Gardner. Getting to 3rd with 1 out enabled Bartlett to not have to have a base hit. Just a sac fly gets the job done.
And a foul back. He had a vicious cut at a fastball.
Yeah, and that ball was going to left center, and he's got power that way too. That was 94 and up, and he had a home run swing on it.
Takes the count to 2 balls and a strike. Too high. 3-1. And Welke says he did not offer. Nick Swisher is on deck. Three-one to Cano. That's foul the other way, out of play. Full up now at 3-2. Rays held a 3-1 lead. It's now 3-3. And a full count, 3-2 to Robinson Cano, who asked for and receives time from Scott Berry. Three-two pitch. He got him. Strike three call, the fastball at the knees to retire the side. 2-run score for New York on the Teixeira home run. Middle of the sixth, 3-3 game. Longoria, Pena, and then Joyce due up against Javier Vasquez. Evan drove in a run with a sacrifice fly to left his first time. Officially 0 for 1. He looks at a strike. Vasquez coming off a 7-inning outing against Cleveland his last time. Tap foul. Oh, he has the jump on Longoria. 0-2. Closing in on 80 pitches. He made 102 pitches his last time out.
Yeah, there was a start against Seattle a few starts back where he threw 117.
Yeah, that's his season's high. 1 ball, 2 strikes. He got a no decision in that game. In his last 4 starts, he has 3 wins and a no decision. 9-7 overall.
And he's giving Evan nothing to hit here. Sliders and 1 changeup so far.
Fouled up the right side, out of play. Pena on deck. This one is down 2-2, and Pena, since he's been swinging the bat a little better, has given Longoria a little more protection, but Vasquez has been successful throughout his career against Pena. Carlos hitting just 158 against him lifetime, although there exist a couple of home runs in that matchup. Ground ball to short. Jeter takes care of this. That was a breaking ball, 2-2, yep. And Longoria grounds out.
Yeah, he got one little fastball away that he fouled off to right field. Other than that, it was sliders and pitches off the outside corner, and he chased on that one. That was a ball.
Now Carlos Pena, who struck out and flied out tonight against Vasquez. Carlos now 3 for 21 lifetime off him, but 2 of those hits home runs.
Well, he and Teixeira tied in the American League last year, 39 home runs apiece, league leaders. See if Carlos can counter. right here.
Teixeira's 2-run homer in the top of the inning tied the game. Rays trying to claim a part of first place here in the East. It's wide.
He's got a pretty good variance of pitches and good differential on his velocity, Vasquez. That's what makes him tough when he's got good command. That pitch was 70 miles an hour, curveball.
Yeah, and we've seen that curve down in the mid-60s
right
from him.
Yeah, 64.
This one a little bit high.
His changeup's about 80, 81. Little slider he throws 82. Fastball anywhere from 88 to 90, 91. And you're right, he changes speeds on the curve anywhere from 65 to 75, 76.
And a strike.
And then he'll throw a little two-seamer right there. I mean, that was out of respect to Carlos, knowing that he's got the green light. Paints him up on the outside corner.
Bases empty, 1 out. The shift on for Pena. 3-1. Carlos gets under it, lifts a pop fly. Short center, Cano out, Granderson in, and Granderson, the center fielder, is there. 2 outs.
Number 20, Matt Joyce.
Wrap-up game of the series against New York tomorrow. We'll be with you at 1 o'clock. It's a 1:37 first pitch tomorrow. James Shields and CC Sabathia square off in the wrap-up game of the series. Then the Minnesota Twins come in to start a 4-game series Monday night. Twins are very tough. Long drive off the bat and Joyce. Way back and gone. How about that, Joyce? Joyce puts one into orbit. And the Rays lead 4-3. The hometown kid has just about hit one to Sefner.
I was going to say, where did that end up? That was a blast.
Here it is.
This is how you hit a hanging curveball. No doubt. Hanging curveball right down the middle.
Rodriguez fouls the first pitch, a fastball back. That's a strike.
I think it hit a ring up there again.
Yeah.
Came straight down.
Yes, it did. I'll tell you, that was in Carlos Pena territory there.
That's why you got to be ready to hit and adjust to the off speed, because, you know, hanging breaking balls, first pitch should go out of the ballpark.
That's 4 go-ahead hits he's had on this homestand.
Yep.
Wow.
And by the way, aren't they all in the 6th inning? I think Brian and Todd were talking about the 6th inning, and it happened again tonight.
That's the Joyce inning.
6th inning. That's right. Well,
base hit in the left through the hole between short and third. Rodriguez pulls a fastball into left.
That one apparently hit the C ring, right? The one above it, Dwayne?
Well, you know, that ball came down in the seats, I think.
It did.
And it would be difficult to hit the C ring and have it could deflect into the seats. We'll have to take another look just to make sure, but I mean, it was going to be way out of here if it didn't hit one of those.
It might have been further than Carlos's.
I'll tell you. Let's take another look here.
Yeah. A hanging breaking ball. No doubter.
There it is. It hit the C-ring. And I'll tell you, it still had forward progress even after it hit the C-ring and wound up in the stands.
That's amazing.
Which is unusual.
Yeah.
That was a tremendous blast. Now here's Upton. Pitch inside. 1 ball, no strikes.
This has been an unusual week. Matt Joyce has been phenomenal in the 6th inning. And Miguel Cabrera, 3 games in a row, came up in the 7th inning, and Joe Madden walked him with 2 on and first and second, by the way, and 2 out.
Yeah.
To face Brennan Bosch.
So Chamberlain busy in the bullpen for New York. As the Rays have re-grabbed the lead.
And it's all worked out so far.
1-0 on Upton. And another move over to first. Sean Rodriguez back in. Well, Joyce hit a 2-2 fastball out in the 6th inning last night. A 3-run homer that gave the Rays a 3-2, an eventual 3-2 victory, a 3-2 lead at the time, and they won by that score. And tonight, he hit the curveball out on the first pitch to give him a 4-3 lead. That's a strike to Upton, and the count is 1-1.
Well, you know, Mark Teixeira hit a mistake fastball and 2-run home run. That's what good power hitters do. And Matt Joyce hit a mistake curveball for his home run.
Ground ball down to third. Glove by Rodriguez. He goes to second for the force to retire the side. But the Rays take the lead. A long home run off the C-ring. Breaking ball hit off the bat of Matt Joyce. 4-3 Tampa Bay. All right, thank you very much. We go to the 7th with the Rays leading 4-3, and Sean Rodriguez has moved over to play first. Carlos Pena is out of the game, and Reed Brignac's in there to play second base now. We'll find out more on that as soon as we can. Nick Swisher takes a breaking ball too high, and the 7th inning is underway. A ball to no strikes.
Well, that's not good news. Rays have had a couple of injuries here now the last few days. Not that Sean can't play first, but you don't want Carlos out of the game or something. Todd will find out what's going on with Carlos Pena now.
1-1 to count here to Swisher, and Brignac goes into the spot originally occupied by Pena. Two and one. 4-8-0 for the Rays. 3-4-0 for New York. And it's now 3-1. That's 100 pitches for Garza.
Good percentage for strikes. 67% is above average. That's good.
And he'd gone 19 out of 23 for first pitch strikes. And a stretch of 11 in a row. Full count with that foul ball.
You're starting to count outs now. Final 9 outs. This is a big one right here. The Rays come back and get the 1-run lead.
And a high fly ball back to right field. Joyce will have to go back to the wall, and this one is gone. Swisher hits a 3-2 pitch out of here. His 20th home run of the season. And the game is again tied, this time at 4.
Well, that's not unlike the hanging curveball that Vasquez threw to Joyce. This is a hanger. Now, he struck him out twice tonight on curveballs. He goes to the well one more time, but look at the difference. This thing is above, it's chest high. And Matt Garza knows it. Look at this. Big uppercut through the ball, and I think Swisher knows it immediately too. Too much carry on it. A hanger like that.
There's Curtis Granderson. Puts it on the ground to second. Brignac's got it. The throw to Rodriguez in time. So 1 out in the 7th inning, and we have a tie game. Well, it's Choate, the left-hander, and Qualls, the right-hander, up in the Rays bullpen here in the 7th. Francisco Cervelli 0 for 2. Going to fly ball to center and is struck out. Pitch is a strike.
Swisher's kind of been the Yankees' Johnny Damon.
Oh boy, I'll tell you.
This year.
Yeah, and against the Rays, just murder. Home run tonight, a home run last night.
Johnny Damon did that last year against the Rays, mainly, of course, hitting 2 in the lineup. But boy, he's and you know, he's deserving of making the All-Star team this year.
He sure is.
Won that final vote because he's been huge. That's 20 home runs for him. Hitting around 298, 299 all season long.
Well, since he went to the Yankees last year, nobody has hit more home runs off the Rays than Swisher. He's hit 12 home runs. There's a strike ball. Cervelli out of there, and he puts up a squawk with Scott Berry. Cervelli 0 for 3 in the 2nd out. Let's take a look at that pitch.
Was a slider from Matt right here. That's a good pitch. Too close to take. Definitely crossed the plate, and height was just fine.
So 2 away in the 7th. Yeah, that's 12 home runs hit by Swisher against the Rays.
Amazing.
Now strike.
Well, the 2 home runs he's given up tonight, Matt Garza, were just mistakes. Ball's up. Fastball was up to Teixeira. Curveball you saw a moment ago was way up.
Pitch wide.
And you got to believe Swisher was more than halfway thinking about the curve because he struck out twice on it tonight.
Got him looking on a curve in the 2nd and swinging on a curve in the 4th. And he hit a curveball out in the 7th. And a little pop to the left side. Longoria in foul ground. That takes care of New York. They pick up a run on the home run. We're tied 4-4. Out at the old ballpark tonight. 7th inning stretch. We go to the home half of the inning. Tied 4-4. Kelly Shopik will lead it off for the Rays against Javier Vasquez. Action now in both bullpens. So we begin the bottom of the 7th. Shopik, Bartlett, and Jaso due up for the Rays. The pitch drops too low to Shopik. 1 ball, no strikes. Popped up, foul ball. Cervelli's after it and makes the catch on the move. 1 away in the bottom of the inning. Boone Logan, the left-hander, is busy down there in the left field bullpen for New York. The Rays have Joaquin Benoit busy in their bullpen.
You know, I got to believe the Rays, I don't know what is wrong with Carlos, but with Ben out, I mean, it's tough to play short against the Yankees tomorrow.
Bartlett taking a pitch down, 1-0. Trying to get word on Carlos Pena's situation.
Never ends for Andrew Friedman. Get busy because I mean, you really have to think about that.
The curveball that breaks way wide. 2-0. Pitch is down, and it's 3-0.
And Vasquez didn't like that call, but yeah, he's not too happy. No buts as far as Vasquez is concerned.
And there's ball 4, so he walks Bartlett on 4 pitches. The Rays have a base runner, and Joe Girardi comes out of the dugout. He has the left-hander Boone in the bullpen with Jaso and Crawford, 2 left-handed bats due up. And so the call to the bullpen by New York, brought to you by Metro PCS, wireless for all.
For an Amscot cash advance, you just need your checkbook and last pay stub.
Rocky here got into the neighbor's sprinkler system.
Is he okay?
Yeah, but he hates getting wet.
Ay, Chihuahua.
Amscot. Always use cash advances responsibly.
Declare your independence.
4-4 tie here in the bottom of the 7th inning. For a limited time, take advantage of the Autoway. Buy 3, get 1 free tire special at all Autoway dealerships. Go to AutowayServiceCenters.com for locations and to schedule your appointment. Rays have a base runner, Bartlett at first base with 1 out. John Jaso is going to be the hitter, and Boone Logan is the new pitcher.
He's done a pretty good job. 22nd appearance for Boone. He's been up and down this year. 3.5 earned run average in his 22 2/3 innings.
Jaso 3 for 3 tonight. Now he hits against Logan. Bartlett draws the throw. 4-4. We're in the bottom of the 7th. Pitch is a strike. Six and a third for Vasquez. He leaves with a man on. Gave up 8 hits, so far 4 runs. He struck out 3 and walked 1. Jason back in at first base. Rays about hit New York 8-5 in this tie game. And that walk to Bartlett, the first walk drawn by the Rays tonight. The only run, or the only walk given up by Garza. The Yankees turned that into a run back in the 2nd inning. And a little popper into shallow center field. Granderson, though, has time to run under it and make the catch. Jaso's the 2nd out.
Yeah, a little too much hang time. Curtis closed fast. Had a good jump on it, too.
Here's Carl Crawford. Carl with 2 hits and a run batted in. And a hits it on the ground to second. Cano has it. And the throw to first is in time. No runs, a walk, and a man left. We go to the 8th, tied 4-4.
To 789 standard message and data rate supply, guys.
Well, we go to the 8th, and Joaquin Benoit, the new pitcher for the Rays. Derek Jeter leads it off, and the pitch to him is a bit inside. Benoit in for the 39th time.
And you got to love the strikeout to walk ratio. 51 strikeouts, 6 walks, 118 batting average against. ERA .74.
And the fastball in on Jeter as he fouls it up and out of play. 7 innings for Garza, 4 runs, 5 hits. He struck out 9, walked 1, made 109 pitches tonight before giving way to Benoit. Outside, all of the hits for New York tonight have been for extra bases. Cano has 2 doubles. Jeter has a double. Teixeira and Swisher each a home run. Two on the count. Ground ball shortstop. Bartlett has it. Throw to first. 1 away in the 8th. 1 up, 1 down. Not to be outdone in the Rays lineup. John Jaso all by himself has 3 extra base hits, 2 doubles and a triple. Joyce has a home run. Upton has a double. So 5 of the 8 hits for the Rays have been extra base hits, which means 10 of the 13 hits have been extra base hits in this game.
Yeah, not too many singles tonight, and one of those was a bunt. It was Carl Crawford with a bunt single in the first inning.
Lance Berkman. Fastball is high. 1-0.
You can't hide Swisher, can you?
No. Yeah. I mean, we thought, boy, this is good. He's going to hit down in the lineup. He's not going to hit second.
Yeah, he's hitting 6th today.
Well,
good.
He still hits a home run. 1-0 the count. There's a strike to Berkman.
I think Joe should rest him tomorrow. Girardi.
Yeah, we're gonna send Don Zimmer over there and suggest that lineup move for him.
Exactly.
One the count here to Berkman. And he's out in front and over the change.
Beautiful. That's why Joaquin's so effective against lefties. This looks like a fastball. It's 10 miles slower. Great arm speed, same as a fastball. You just saw the result.
And he got him. Went right back with that same pitch and strikes out Berkman. That's 10 strikeouts for Rays pitching tonight. 2 up, 2 down here in the 8th.
Back-to-back changeups. Second one better than the one before it. And Lance Berkman could not hold up. What a great pitch, great depth, great fading action away from the lefty.
Now Mark Teixeira. Fouls a fastball back, strike 1.
Tell you what, he's gotten fastballs first pitch and he's hacking. He's ready to swing the bat. That was a hittable pitch right there.
Alex Rodriguez on deck. And a foul ball back on another fastball. Teixeira's up there swinging.
I don't think there's a fastball he doesn't like. He's swinging at every fastball he's seen.
Teixeira and Benoit were teammates with the Texas Rangers.
Might be time for that good changeup again.
A 2-strike count.
Joaquin didn't want it. Shopik called it, but Joaquin shook to a fastball. Up. Be careful.
And he misses with it. Down and in.
Yeah, he missed badly. He was trying to go up and away. Look where Shopik is right there, and almost got a nice strike out of it.
Yeah. That would be a good miss.
Very good miss. About a 17-inch miss on the black.
The 1-2 and a pop-up foul, and that's going to carry out a play. Boy, I'll tell you, Shopik and Longoria hustling after that ball. Shopik from the catcher's spot all the way up in front of the railing down that third base side by the New York dugout. He really got after that one.
Yeah, he did. He's very much engaged defensively in what he's doing. Saw him break out of the box on a little tapper that was fouled in front of home plate earlier. Just immediately hoping it was fair to make a play. Of course, every out so important with this lineup.
1-2 the count. He got it. Doing that changeup and strikes him out. 1, 2, 3 go the New York Yankees. We go into the bottom of the 8th, tied 4-4. The bottom of the 8th. This game is tied 4-4. You don't want to miss the next edition of Inside the Rays. We'll go on the road to Montgomery, Alabama, home of the Rays AA affiliate, the Biscuits, and take you behind the scenes with the team and show you why in minor league baseball, game day is not just about baseball. Join us Sunday at 5 for Inside the Rays down on the farm. For a preview of the show, visit FoxSportsFlorida.com. We go to the bottom of the 8th. Let's check in with Todd for our Carlos Pena update.
Real quick, Dwayne, it's right foot soreness. He's had it a few days now. Remember that double play that Longo started to end the game? On that stretch, he felt a little bit. He felt it one other time during the week. So he is day-to-day with right foot soreness, guys.
David Robertson, the new pitcher, and Evan Longoria takes the first one down and away. 1-0. So soreness in his right foot. And you see the numbers on Robertson.
Yeah, Robertson's got that mid-90s fastball, and he's got an excellent overhand curveball.
Ground ball to shortstop, grabbed by Jeter, and the throw to first in time. One gone, and now Reed Brignac, who's occupying the spot vacated by Pena, will get his first at bat of the night.
You know, Dwayne, with these injuries, it's kind of that time of the year, you know. You get this deep in, and the Rays have been pretty fortunate. They've been able to avoid that most of the year, unlike teams like the Red Sox or the Tigers. And you just hope it is a day or so.
Yeah, and you figure the Rays should be in a better position to do that because they're a younger team.
Right.
And that's just the reality of a veteran team has all that experience, but they also have a little more wear and tear and age on them.
So true. So true. You think of a catcher like Jorge Posada. That's why, you know, he goes through the bumps and bruises. That's why Cervelli's been valuable. Joe Girardi likes Cervelli behind the plate.
Brignac fouls it. He's in the hole. 0-2.
Well, it's also why Joe Madden throughout the year will try to give each regular a couple of days. You might give a Sunday off, and then if it's a Monday off day, that's Joe's plan during the early part of the year, so the guys will be healthy for the stretch run.
Tap foul up the first base side. Swing and a miss. Fastball up, got him. Two gone.
That's the book on Reed. Go up with the fastball. If you've got a mid-90s fastball with 2 strikes. Watch Cervelli. Sets up way high. I mean, he's standing up. And Reed takes a big uppercut swing. Can't catch up.
2 outs, bases empty, and here's Matt Joyce. Oh, why not?
You bet.
He takes a fastball, that's high. 1 ball, no strikes. Then a first pitch curveball off the C ring in the 6th inning.
That was a blast too. Up bell high.
Two and 0.
They're not going to give Matt much to hit here with 2 outs and Sean Rodriguez on deck. Look how far out Cervelli is.
And there's a strike. Well, you know, he's set up outside and the pitch came back over the plate on the inside.
And that's probably for Cervelli calling that. That's a little too close for comfort there. That was down the middle. That was a hittable pitch. That's not where he wanted it.
Fastball foul the other way, 2-2. You got to peek at Rafael Soriano there a second ago. He's in the bullpen.
Well, what Joe Maddon's thinking, of course, if Joyce homers, of course, it's a safe situation. If he doesn't, it's still your best chance to put a 0 up in the top of the 9th to try to get your offense there and try to win it in the bottom of the 9th.
And another foul holds the count at 2-2.
You can afford to do that when you're at home.
The 2-2 again. And Joyce is out on strikes this time. Tossed down to first. The Rays are up and down 1-2-3. On to the 9th. 4-4 ball game. Rays and New York tied. It's a 4-4 ball game, and Alex Rodriguez will open the 9th inning with the Rays bringing on Rafael Soriano.
Rafael trying to put a 0 up there to keep the game right here for Joe Maddon and the Rays. 41 games, got his 29th save last night.
First pitch to Rodriguez, and it's high. 1 ball, no strikes. Rodriguez walked back in the 2nd inning and scored the first New York run. Since then, he's hit a fly ball to right field and struck out swinging. And he pops it up. That's foul, back and out of play. 1 ball and 1 strike.
Trying to go away right here. It's up and away. Had a little run on it too.
Soriano in the game last night to post the save in the 3-2 Rays win. 1-1 with Rodriguez. And a high pop-up. Shallow left. Bartlett out from shortstop. And he makes the catch, falls down and hangs on. That was a towering popper into shallow left field. And Bartlett was calling it all the way. Rodriguez out number 1 here in the 9th. 0 for 3 tonight.
Yeah, this is another fastball up. That's what they've been doing the whole series. It gets underneath it again. Jason waving off pretty aggressively right there, and that might have taken him off track of the ball a little bit. He has to backpedal and make a great catch, as it turned out.
Now it's Robinson Cano. Cano has doubled twice. Down and in. Last night, Soriano had to get Rodriguez, Cano, and Posada. Tonight he's facing Rodriguez, now Cano, with Swisher on deck, and there's a drive to right. That ball will get out of here. Home run, a fastball, and Cano hits his 21st home run of the year. That will make it 5-4. Cano's third extra base hit of the night.
This is why he's an MVP candidate this year. His fastball runs right into his swing, down and in. He smoked it. He's got nothing but fastballs tonight, too, because he's a dead fastball hitter.
All 6 New York hits have been for extra bases. 3 doubles and 3 home runs. And now Nick Swisher, who homered in the 7th inning to tie the game. The pitch is a strike.
See, Soriano's velocity is a little bit down tonight, too. It's only at about 90, 91.
Wave and a miss, 0-2. Pitching for the 4th time in the last 5 games. And the pitch is wide. It's 1 ball, 2 strikes. So we've seen a lot of extra base power tonight. Cutting a miss, and Swisher's out on strikes. Got him with a fastball. Two gone. Rays Live, the post game, follows our game coverage. Still a lot of baseball here as we play in the top of the 9th in this 1-run game. Mariano Rivera in the bullpen for New York. Up and away, 1 ball, no strikes. Anderson drove in a run with a sacrifice fly in the 2nd. And there's a shot into right field. Joyce is there to make the catch to retire the side, but New York gets a run on the home run by Cano. We go to the bottom of the inning. Rodriguez, Upton, and Chofik due for the Rays. The Rays a full game back of New York in the East after last night's Tampa Bay victory, and the Rays are down, needing a run to keep it going. Soriano touched for the home run by Cano in the top half of the 9th. And now Mariano Rivera is on to pitch the bottom of the 9th, making his 39th appearance.
Yeah, he's having another incredible year. 21 of 23 for saves, so he has blown a couple. ERA is under 1. 35 strikeouts, only 6 walks. Typical Mariano year.
How about that? 54, 55 in save opportunities for his career versus the Rays.
That's pretty incredible. I remember that game he blew. I believe that was the Carl Crawford, Evan Longoria back-to-back home runs.
That's right. Well, here's Sean Rodriguez. And he goes after the first pitch. Missing the cutter, strike 1. 3 right-handed hitters due up against him here in the 9th inning. And another strike.
Ball just a little bit off the outside corner, but it's Mariano.
Out and away. A ball and 2 strikes. Rodriguez, no official at-bats against Rivera. He did draw a walk in the other plate appearance he had against him. And lays off this pitch, cutting down and away.
Cervelli trying to entice the home plate umpire, Scott Berry. That ball wasn't even close. Mariano doesn't need any help.
Two and 2, and Rodriguez fouls it, staying alive. Upton, who's due next, is 3 out of 10 against Rivera with 7 strikeouts.
I'll take the other 3.
Yeah. And a swing and a miss. Rodriguez strikes out. 1 away in the 9th.
This is actually a ball that's pretty much right down the middle. Sean just gets underneath it. Pretty hittable pitch with 2 strikes.
Now B.J. Upton. Upton doubled and scored in the 5th tonight, and he takes the pitch for a strike. Shopik is due to hit next, but Ibar has moved into the on-deck circle. That's inside. It's 1-1. The Rays down to their last 2 outs, trailing by a run. And a ground ball to short. Jeter up with it. The throw to first. 2 gone. 2 outs here in the bottom of the 9th. You know, the ironic thing about not only the home run, but the fact that it was a hit by Cano in the top half of the 9th. The Rays bullpen has been so good on this homestand. The Rays bullpen had not allowed a hit in its last 8 2/3 innings of work until that home run.
No, that's amazing.
By Cano. And here's Ibar. He went after that pitch. Strike 1.
What Tim Welke saw, sure did. Absolutely.
And a broken bat looper into shallow right field. That's a base hit. Ibar comes off the bench to deliver a base hit. And the Rays are still alive. The bat exploded, a broken bat, but a base hit nevertheless.
Yeah, it looked like Cano was going to run that one down. Look at that cutter, the movement on that.
Number 8, Jason Bartlett.
Just saws him off. Looked like Cano was going to make a great play to end the game, like Carlos Pena did for the Rays last night, but couldn't quite get to it.
Now here's Jason Bartlett, and he's 2 for 5 off Rivera lifetime. And a ground ball to short. Jeter with the toss to Cano. It's all over. And New York wins it tonight. Another 1-run game in this season series. It's a 5-4 final. Robertson will get the win. He's 2-3. Soriano, the losing pitcher, 2-1. It's a save for Rivera. And so the New York Ball Club again leading the East by 2 games over the Rays. as they have split the first 2 games of this series. We'll take a look at tonight's Miller Lite Taste Greatness moment. And for New York, it's the home run on a 1-0 fastball in the 9th inning. As Robinson Cano connects off Rafael Soriano. And that turned out to be the margin of victory. It's a 5-4 final here. New York over the Rays. So the Rays see their winning streak come to an end with this loss. They had won 7 straight. We'll be with you tomorrow. Wrap-up game of the series against New York begins at 1 o'clock on Sun Sports in high definition. Now for Kevin Kennedy, Todd Callis, Brian Anderson, I'm Dwayne Stats. Hope you've enjoyed the telecast and not the outcome. 5-4 New York, the winner. See you on the postgame. Well, last night Soriano had to get Rodriguez, Cano, and Posada. Tonight he's facing Rodriguez, now Cano, with Swisher on deck, and there's a drive to right. That ball will get out of here. Home run, a fastball, and Cano hits his 21st home run of the year. That will make it 5-4. Cano's 3rd extra base hit of the night.
This is why he's an MVP candidate this year. His fastball runs right into his swing, down and in. He's smoked it. He's got nothing but fastballs tonight, too, because he's a dead fastball hitter.
All 6 New York hits have been for extra bases.